Yep.
I got it that
Audio's a
time.
good idea.
I got audio that time. I realized it on my own. Hello again, and welcome to exclusive release. What is this, episode 4 now, correct? I believe it is. Yeah, episode 4. Welcome back once again. We got some great topics to talk about today. I am Jonathan, by the handle Tarzantium, and this is my co-host.
I'm Sal.
Yes, that's Sal.
That's my name.
We gotta work. We gotta work on that transition into you talking about your name, because I feel like
That was the point.
it's your name. Is that what we're doing? Every time you're gonna find some new way to be awkward.
If you want me to, I can. We can work on that.
Yeah. Well,
that can be arranged.
all right. So, I mean, like, we got some great stuff lined up for today. Why don't we just jump right into it? We got some, by the way, really quick before we jump right into it, I actually just realized we do have some stream news at the end of this podcast. So after Game Club, we'll go ahead and have some information for you. And then after that, we will, of course, I will end the recording for the YouTube copy of the podcast. And
For the
YouTube. And I will go ahead and we'll do Q&A again. So last week it was pretty short. We'll see how it goes this week. We're always welcome to.
Yeah, last week I was insanely sick. That's why we cut it a little short.
Yeah. If my
talk.
voice sounds a little different this week, I did lose my voice earlier this week, but it's mostly back. So we should be good to go. Sal, really quick, what cookies are you eating this week?
Hashtag Sal's Weekly Cook. It's just like old grandma cookies. They're mostly gone, but there's a few left.
Dude, I love those cookies. Those things are
These
dank.
cookies are the best. This is my favorite. Where to go? This one.
Where'd it go? You ate it, you dummy. All right. Well, let's.
By the way, I didn't eat all of those by myself. Maybe I did.
Okay. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're going to be actually focusing a lot on PUBG, Players Unknown Battlegrounds this week, because a lot of kind of interesting news. One that we brought up, what was it, 2 weeks ago, or was it last week that we talked about?
Last week, I believe.
Was it last week? Okay. Either way.
Oh no, 2 weeks ago.
I think it was.
Like
I was gonna say. I feel like it was longer than that. I think last week was like. I can't remember. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about PUBG this week.
We have so many episodes out, we can't even remember.
Yeah,
what
right.
We talked about.
We're real. We're for real this time. Other than that, we got some other great stuff to talk about. Interesting things. We're gonna try and branch out and move a little bit away from games this week. See if we can't cover some other interesting nerd news this week, which I think will be great. So, our first topic for this week is, let me just go ahead and update the topic. The doc. Woo! So, the doc stream came back, like we mentioned a couple weeks ago. And it was, frankly, better than we anticipated, right? Like,
yeah, I think I said on here that I didn't think he was gonna break 100,000.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
was I wrong?
You were like, yeah, there's no, I don't think he'll beat Tyler 1. Tyler 1 was pretty
I
big.
said there is no way he'll beat Tyler 1. I honestly did not believe it because League is such a bigger game.
Yeah.
Like it just is. Then
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
By player count,
player
it
base,
100%
yes.
is.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't know. I feel like PUBG's doing a pretty damn good job of its growth as a game. The doc, Sal. By the way, just to let you guys know, I got some stuff. I'm going to be sorting out some technical difficulties, so I might duck off screen.
Yes,
for a little
I
bit.
can't see Jonathan at the moment.
Yeah, he currently, my camera for the call shut off, so I'm working on fixing that. So why don't you start while I set that up, Sal? Why don't you start talking about what happened with the doc this week?
He broke Twitch. He really did. Twitch wasn't working. Their servers are just taking shit, so to speak.
Wait, like they're like actually were like server crashes?
His stream definitely went down, and the chats weren't showing up. Same thing happened with Tyler 1. Like I remember I was watching. I didn't watch the doc stream live. I did watch a VOD of the first game. He came in the first game. He's like, I'm gonna win this one, and I was like, if he wins the first game coming back in 2 months, it'll be hilarious.
I mean, he's a savage.
And motherfucker actually did with 13 kills.
Holy shit.
And he had a vector the whole time.
It might not be, and then like it's not like he was like, I retired. Now I'm coming back.
Yeah.
First game in 3 years. He probably was still playing PUBG while he wasn't streaming, I'd imagine.
He said he didn't, but also it's a character, so.
I mean, yeah, that's really the big thing. As I think, like, he's never not in character when we see him on stream. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Well, except for the one time that he
the
wasn't.
one time.
The 2 time. No.
Jesus, no.
So the one time, of course, that he wasn't in character was when the whole debacle started. But
Yeah.
I am actually really impressed, and it's very inspiring for those of us on Twitch to see that someone can make so much money in one day. I mean, I don't.
I think I was talking to someone. They said he probably made over $100,000 just on Monday.
Really?
And yeah. The donations, he was getting $1,000 donations every 20 minutes.
The fatty donations. So
Yeah.
so by the way, guys, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I do have a PayPal button in my bio. So if anyone's looking to pay for Sal's next weekly cookie, yeah, that's a thing.
That's true.
I believe I need to make sure I have
Sponsor Sal's Sal's Weekly Cook.
I also think that I have. I also think that I have my. Maybe I don't know. I do have donations on, so it'll be good. All right. Anything else you want to say about the doc explicitly? I mean, like it was always good to see him.
No, he got 389,000 viewers.
So that how much did it beat Tyler One by? It was like
about 7,000.
Which I mean,
I think it's nothing. They were right
that was
there,
like neck and neck. But to be fair, it was enough to make you wrong. Right?
Yeah.
He'll never beat him. I mean, is there anything else really to say about the doc? I guess we're just kind of following up on that previous conversation.
People are saying that we're sellouts. Hey, the money's there. We don't care. We don't care.
I mean,
dude.
If we're a sellout, I mean, like all that's going to happen is that money's probably going to go straight into the podcast. So you'll just
my belly.
Or that could also happen. Maybe if I'm thinking that if we get enough of like, maybe I'll set up a Patreon or something.
Maybe if we get enough donations, I can have multiple types of cookies.
Or I could also have cookies, Sal. How about that? You ever thought about that?
No.
Yeah.
I'll get the
Of course.
All right. I'm over the cookies. I'm full.
So the doc, he's back. It's good. New record set. Pretty good. Because I didn't really get a chance. I was working when the doc was streaming. Or no, I was in class.
Me too. Or I was working, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to really watch it, but I was kind of following up with friends and saying like, hey, what's it at? You know, something I do know about are the changes that they made to PUBG. I think it was last week was when the patch dropped. I want to say.
Yeah.
I think it was like the 29th of January that the patch dropped, and it was a couple changes to like. What was it, like map availability or like they changed Miramar, right?
So from what I've heard, I don't think I've seen this. Maybe I've been playing a lot. They added more buildings and increased spawn rate in Miramar.
Like just like guns, right? Like just kind of guns and everything.
Rate. Like just everything.
I mean,
because
like
the loot in Miramar is shit. It's so bad.
I've never had that issue. I feel like I usually find enough gear in Miramar, but what was interesting to me, the whole reason we're even talking about these changes, like actually talking about patch notes, is because apparently it was a thing that players would like purposefully corrupt, or change the extensions on the Miramar data files, so that when the game would try to load in Miramar, you would either get booted out or it just wouldn't load it.
No,
and that way you would.
No, they just deleted the game file for it.
I read that some people corrupted it so that it would boot you back to main menu.
I read that they were just deleting the game file for the map completely.
I mean, like, I feel like doesn't Steam have the thing that they do where they just what is it called? They always, I guess they don't always verify files, do they? I mean, like, I feel like they usually do, but yeah, I guess they don't do that for PUBG. But yeah, so players were hating Miramar, and so because of that, the
majority of players, for those of you in chat that are upset at whether we're saying this, a lot of players, like, it's not just us or me, it's a lot of people.
I don't actually hate Miramar. I like Miramar. I think that
I don't mind it. Okay, I do mind it. It's a
Okay.
shit map. Just add more loot, which they did, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. For whatever reason, they have issues with the map, and players were able to actually basically skip the map, and I think that's hilarious. That players would hate something so much that they would go in and change data files just so that they wouldn't have to deal with it. Um,
Yeah.
so Bluehole was like, "Oh, we better fix that," and they did, which actually was pretty
Captain
cool.
Kyra says Miramar sucks for solos. It does. It absolutely does. It's so
Yeah,
bad for solos.
I agree about that. I can see that.
Um, I think Miramar is only playable, only decent blue balls entertainment. Um, if it is either at least duos or squad. I feel like I just talked like a robot, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Ultimately, like it's really about I I'm surprised that Bluehole really I mean like the article that we read it on was released like 2 days before the patch dropped. I guess like I don't know when players started doing that explicitly. If it started getting into media, then it kind of makes me think that it probably had already been happening for a while. I didn't even hear about it, but then again, it's not like I'm super duper involved in the like communications of PUBG about the current meta of PUBG. I just play with my friends. Um, the other thing that we were going to talk about for PUBG. Oh, I probably should change from the doc. Um, I'll just go ahead and skip ahead to the newest information that was released is that Bluehole banned, what was it, 1 million accounts in January alone?
1,044,000, I think was the number.
1,044. That is so many accounts. Like, I haven't heard of a
It's
ban wave that big. I don't even know
yeah.
of
In 1 month. This is in just January.
yeah, that's just in January. But what was crazy because I was reading the Steam news about it, and uh, all of the comments were like region lock China, some other more colorful responses that you would expect from the anonymity of the internet, but a lot of them were just like these big blocks of text that say region lock China, and which I think is I think it's a reasonable fix. I mean, for those of you who don't know why that would be a potential fix is because I don't like actually have confirmation on this, but I've heard that the pattern is that in China, winning is a bigger deal than being good. So people don't ask how you got to the top, how you
No,
made
I don't think
leaderboards.
so.
That's
Because
what I've heard.
I've
Like,
seen videos. I've seen videos of players in China. There's someone. It's like a computer cafe. I don't know what they're called. Like a
internet
cyber
cafe,
cafe.
internet cafe.
Yeah, and some they find out one guy is cheating, and they just boo him, and they like literally beat the shit out of him. They kick him out of the cafe. Like I've seen
I
a
mean,
video of
like I
that.
said, I don't have it confirmed. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I
That is
don't
what I've
either.
heard. Have you?
Hey,
Have you?
listen.
I mean, like, have you heard that before, though? You know what I mean? Like, have you heard that before?
Yeah, from you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Make me look like a racist. Whatever. Um,
No.
I I have heard that. And I mean, no matter the cultural attitude, the fact of the matter still stands that a majority of hackers in PUBG are from the Asiatic servers, like from China. I don't know explicitly China, but I'm pretty sure China. Um, it definitely like that's kind of just a fact. I don't know why. Maybe like the hack market's a lot more viable over in China for whatever reason. Chinese players are usually more often the hackers. The hackers are usually more often Chinese players. That is. So people are suggesting region lock China, which I think is
What does it mean by regional? Like they can't even
like
join other
so yeah,
servers.
no,
They
you
have
can't.
to go on a China server.
Yeah, so you know how when you jump into PUBG, you can choose other servers. I mean, we just usually play US servers because
Yeah.
why would we not? I'd rather. It's not like I'm gonna find it a lot better games in like other servers. It's not like
Although if you play in Asia, you're a god. People in Asian servers are so fucking bad.
yeah, but your ping is like 300, so it's like
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
ultimately the whole point being is that like they want to region lock China so that Chinese players don't end up on U.S. servers and other servers. So I don't know how that would come up in terms of like how effective of a fix that is. It's interesting. But it certainly is a big problem. Like I don't know. A lot of people complain about hacking a lot more often than I experience. I've only experienced maybe 2 hackers in my whole time. One of them
was with you.
Well, we were together, and like a dude was speed hacking. I remember.
It was like with your second game ever playing, I think, and I was like, that's never happened before. Like I've only had it happen like once or twice.
So, Captain Kairu in chat has brought up what I think is definitely a viable point, saying that a lot of Chinese players are already really good at using proxies and are probably already proxying, and already, for those of you who don't know what proxying is, essentially is spoofing IPs, and being able to access from like a different area, which allows, if something is region locked, like on Netflix, some content isn't available in different countries, you can spoof your IP and you can proxy yourself to the locations that stuff is available. So a really good proxy would allow you to actually play on the server anyway, even if China were region locked. The reason that's a thing, as Captain Kyra is bringing up, which I definitely believe, is that the government in China censors a lot of stuff and blocks a lot of stuff.
It's the Great Firewall of China.
Yeah, so proxies have already been well established in China, which I think is interesting. So then I guess the question really is, like, is a region lock really going to be the fix that's needed? It might keep out some of the lower skill people, but I feel like most of them probably are still just, gonna proxy. It's an interesting thought. I just play. I don't really care if I die to a hacker. It makes me mad. But like the good thing about PUBG is that the games go pretty quick, and you're never like.
You know what I like about PUBG? This is kind of off point, because I saw someone else talk about it. It's the turnaround from game to game. It's like almost non-existent.
Yeah. Which
when you die to get to another lobby, it's probably like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't think even Call of Duty is that fast.
I think what's really good about it is that I heard this talked about for PUBG is that, like, what makes PUBG a good game for pacing is that you are never relaxed. You are constantly on relative edge, like it's not like because everyone says, PUBG is just a refined DayZ, which like DayZ, you'd be running Eastern Coast and you'd be like, I'm fine.
DayZ is a shit game.
Hey,
DayZ standalone.
There is
great game. No. The DayZ mod, beautiful, amazing. Kind of buggy, amazing. The DayZ standalone, holy shit, that was the most biggest failure I've ever played.
It's still in early access.
Sucks. It's still in early access.
Which PUBG was like, you know what? We're done with early access. We're gonna release. It may be a cash grab, but at least we're a real game.
It wasn't a cash grab. It was kind of a.
It was definitely a cash grab.
It was a marketing move. I don't think it was a cash
grab. Okay, marketing move, cash grab.
These are completely different things.
I don't know. I think it's reasonable to say that it was a cash grab. But okay, fine. Marketing move. They released it for Christmas. That was their goal. Get Christmas sales. Which I'm not even saying.
It was for Xbox. So they could get it out.
Yeah, because they had to release officially so they could be on Xbox to be available for Christmas sales. Which, like, I'm not even saying that that's a bad hustle. It's just, it's a hustle, They're doing it smart, but there was a hustle.
There's definitely a lot of shit you're like, dude, come on. Like, they're like, oh, we're adding just more clothes into the game. Like, how about you take the clothes out of your fucking game so its server load is lessened? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to pick up a t-shirt when I'm running around.
Hey, I have picked up before I started getting actual clothing. I did pick up t-shirts. I still pick up coats sometimes when I feel like. But
coats give you they give your position away.
Yeah, that's why.
Like if you're behind,
that much of a savage, dude.
Oh yeah, you're that good. You're like the dog. You don't use silencers. You want him to hear you coming?
Yeah, dude. Anyway, all right. Well, I mean, as far as PUBG goes, I think like we covered most of the bases that's relevant for this week. It really was interesting to me to see, like, I don't know, because I'm still thinking about Bluehole as a company.
Blue balls.
Yeah, and like, I'm not sure how I feel about them because, like, I have pretty strong opinions about a lot of the game companies out there, and like, I love Blizzard. There are some things that Blizzard does wrong, like really badly. Like we talked about balance,
especially when it comes to World of Warcraft.
With balance, it's definitely they're like, pretty.
Oh, they're so bad at balancing.
Yeah,
they're so fucking bad. They're an amazing company. Every game they have, you're like, hey, this thing's really overpowered. You know what will make it not overpowered? If everything else is overpowered.
Yeah, well, the old Dota approach, dude.
The old Dota approach.
But like, I don't know how I feel about Bluehole yet because like, they made a game that I like. And they haven't really.
They just have one game, so the jury's still out on them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good question. Are they going to make other stuff?
Is the jury still out on EA?
No,
not really.
No, not
They're
really.
a shitty company. Shitty Blazer. That's right, Captain Kyrie.
Yeah. What's really? I mean, like, are they going to make other games? Or are they kind of like?
I would if I was their company.
You would or wouldn't?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I mean, like. Might be interesting. Do you want to go ahead and move on to our next topic?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You're hyped for this one. Our next topic.
What is this?
It's the SpaceX
I don't even know
launch.
what we're talking about. Oh yeah, SpaceX launch this week. Yeah, it was the launch of Falcon Heavy. Biggest rocket in the world by a factor of 2. Don't quote me on that. SpaceX don't sue me.
I mean, I'm not as big on astrophysics and SpaceX and everything as Sal is here, but I'm just hyped for all the memes that have been coming out of it.
They got a real big dick and strapped 2 other big dicks to it and launched into space. That's what happened.
Yep, that is accurate. There is no confusion that can be derived from that statement. None.
No.
That is exactly what you needed to say to convey exactly what happened.
Yeah.
How about you say exactly what their goal was with the launch this week?
Oh, it was just a test launch, and usually when a test launch, they put like a block of concrete in the vehicle, like in the payload, which is fucking boring. Literally a block of fucking concrete.
It's like, yeah.
So Elon Musk was like, "Fuck it, I'm putting my Tesla Roadster in there with a fucking spaceman just chilling there, and just be a fucking memer about it."
Yep.
And he did it.
Well, first with the flamethrowers, and now it's with the car, dude. Elon Musk is improving his ability to pose as a human. He has witnessed us enough to know that memes are important.
He was the top post on r/Mad Lads. Let me find it. I don't know if you can even show this.
If there was, I mean, like, you could link it in Twitch probably. I'll put it in like the description on YouTube or something. I Elon Musk, if you haven't heard about this, and I fully believe that this is a reasonable explanation for who he is. Elon Musk is an alien, and he came to Earth and got stuck here. And our technology wasn't advanced enough for him to refuel his ship. So he is posed as a human and is advancing our technology so that he can refuel his ship and leave. And we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. And he's trying to pose as a human. Link is in the Twitch channel.
Oh, that's the wrong link.
Is it?
Oh, no, that's a really funny link too. So for the flamethrowers, he's like, apparently some customs agencies are saying they won't allow shipment of anything called a flamethrower. So to solve this, we're renaming it Not a Flamethrower. What a fucking dick! It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I was gonna say, I think Elon Musk is improving his skills to pose as a human. He's understood that memes are important to the human culture.
He's got the meme economy cornered.
Yeah, he's improving his meme skills significantly. He also, I mean, we're also mentioning a flamethrower. He sold. Well, how much did they cost? They were like
$500.
$500. He was selling $500 flamethrowers. They're
It's not
more
really a
blowtorches.
flamethrower. It's like a giant blowtorch.
It's like a giant
shaped
blowtorch.
like a gun. Yeah.
But it looks cool. It looks like almost like a pulse rifle from Alien, which I think is really cool. Hence, more of a reason for me to believe that he's an alien.
Yeah. It's not really a flame. Like it's like the Fisher Price flamethrower. You know what I mean? Like the flamethrower for kids.
Like my first flamethrower.
my first little flamethrower
by Fisher Price. That's pretty good. Yeah. I thought that was pretty great. So the what's actually really funny is that our game for Game Club this week, there was a meme about it, which was I'll have to.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, there was a meme that that was a combination of this and our game. I'll explain it later in a minute.
Yeah.
But once we get to that, anything else about like the SpaceX launch? So SpaceX has always landed the rockets, right?
No.
How long?
There's actually a video. They've landed them like 3 times, but nothing ever this big. Before it was just one rocket. Now it's 3 of them, and these are bigger. These are bigger than the other ones. There's actually a video on YouTube by SpaceX. It's called "How Not to Land an Orbital Booster," and it's just clip after clip of just explosion after explosion after explosion. And then they put like comical music in the background, and they do like memes on the side because it's fucking SpaceX.
Because it's Elon Musk trying to pose as a human. Yeah. Well, so didn't I hear that they launched 3 and only 2 of them landed? What did I hear? Is that?
So yeah. So the core didn't land. So the way it works is 3 rockets, the core and 2 boosters. So it launches, the boosters separate because they're out of fuel, and they return to Earth, and then the core keeps going, and the core turns around. So the 2 boosters land on. They go on land. I don't know why my mother's yelling right now. But,
I can't hear her. You're fine.
And so the 2 boosters land. Fine. It was a beautiful shot. And the core didn't reignite his engines on the way down, and it's supposed to land on a drone ship. And it hit the side of the drone ship at 400 miles an hour.
Oh, that's good. That's always good. 400 miles an hour. That's not that big a deal. That's pretty slow, honestly. I mean,
compared to how fast those rockets goes, that is.
Oh yeah, slow. That is actually pretty. I was gonna be like,
yeah, they go to 17,000 miles. They go to 17,000 miles an hour. They go to like Mach 18. Like
that's pretty fast, though.
Yeah,
that's pretty fast. Yeah. So, SpaceX, I think that's really cool. When did he say he wants to habitat Mars or whatever? He's like
he wants to have a human on Mars by 2034.
2034. Well, Elon, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be an alien.
But to be fair, this is what it's called. They call it Elon time. Like, Elon has a weird perception of time. Like, when he does, like...
he's an alien.
No, because he's an alien. When he does like press releases for like Tesla, he's like, okay, he'll come out at 6. He comes out at 6:45. For Tesla, it's the same thing. He says, oh, we'll deliver all Model 3s by 2018. By the beginning of 2018, they just deliver 3,000. So instead of the 80,000 that he's supposed to deliver, it's called Elon time. It's because he's on Mars time. Yeah. So it's like a day is a little bit longer.
Is that really? Is Mars time a day longer, or is it?
Their days are longer.
Are the days longer on Mars, though?
Yeah, they're called sols. I don't know if you've seen like the movie The Martian. They explain it. I don't know how to explain it. They're a little bit longer.
It's only about an hour longer. A day.
Yeah, but it adds up. So they're years. So like I don't know. I don't know the exact science.
So something about time. It's only like half an hour longer because like roughly speaking.
But it's a day, not a year. So it's just how fast it's rotating on its axis.
Which makes sense. Actually, it's about 45 minutes longer, which explains why he comes out at 6:45.
Oh, you're right. 6. Yes.
There we go. We figured it out.
He is a Martian. He's trying to get back home.
Yep. Which is why he wants to settle.
You hear it here. Exclusive release right here. Elon Musk is a Martian.
Yeah. All right. So enough about how we know that Elon Musk is a Martian. Let's go ahead.
Also, he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like him and Mark Zuckerberg is a robot. He's a Martian. So Mark Zuckerberg and him are just like, oh, let's try to fit in, but they're still super awkward. But you're like, oh, it's just because they're quirky. No, but it's because they're not human.
That's it. Yep.
Yep.
Anything else to say about SpaceX, Sal?
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty
All
good.
right.
Pretty
So
good. Unless
I
you want to get into the nitty gritty of the aerodynamics of the rocket.
No. We're gonna go ahead and talk about. I know that this one isn't your forte, Sal. So just give me your input as you see fit. Our next topic is the Hearthstone patch that recently dropped. The nerfs to Bone Mare, Patches, Raza, and Corridor Creeper, I believe. Were there any other nerfs? I need to take a look at that. Basically,
let me tell you about the nerfs.
you got
played that game once 4 years ago. That's it.
Well, I mean, these have been nerfs that have been due for a long time. But remember, we were talking about. You can still pitch in because we're talking about Blizzard nerfs here. So when they do balance, if they're not going to do buffs to everything, if they're going to nerf something, they nerf it to death. And most of these cards are pretty much just not playable anymore. Well, I mean, okay, so the changes were that Bone Mare went from 7 to 8 mana cost, which is just a turn slower, which is, I mean, I don't know if you want to look this up, so might help you a little bit, at least to get.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're like.
It looks like a horse. It looks like my Death Knight horse.
I mean, that's what it is. It is a Death Knight horse. It's from Knights of the Frozen Throne, so that is from that patch. A nerf to Raza the Chained, which was this really actually kills Raza Priest.
This kills the card.
This kills the card, except for Bone Mare. I can still see Bone Mare seeing play.
So it's still 5/5.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So Corridor Creeper went from 5 attack down to 2 attacks. So now it's a 7 mana 2/5 with its card text still reading every time a minion dies reduces cost by 1. Patches no longer has charge, which is a really big nerf in my opinion. I think there's still kind of a value in Patches because I heard it describe the value of Patches is essentially that every card has 2 costs, essentially. There's the cost to play it, the mana cost, and there's the cost of drawing a card. People kind of forget that second one, and Patches negates both of them if you play a pirate early enough, which is why it's so bad to draw Patches early, because you've spent both costs now, and you essentially have a Stone Tusk Boar. And now he's even worse than a Stone Tusk Boar. He's literally just a 1/1 if you draw him, which I think it's a hard nerf to him. If you draw him, it literally will make you cry. And it's just mostly a nerf if you don't draw him. Other than that, the Raza change, it went from the hero power went from 0 to 1, which is important because the whole archetype of the deck that he's running is that at the end of the game, you should just be able to, and you can't do that if it costs 1 mana each time. Any input so far, Sal? You have any interesting information? No.
I have no idea what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
I tried following. I'm still on Bone Mare.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so getting to Bone Mare. I hate this card a lot, actually. It makes me very mad, and I'm kind of sad that it didn't get a harder.
So Bone Mare is just a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, is that Bone Mare works really well. Here, we'll have a dialogue here to help you out. Bone Mare works really well in decks that are cheap, because so essentially you want that deck to kind of contain low cost minions. A lot of zoo decks and aggressive decks like to run Bone Mare, because what will happen is if you stall out into the later game, usually you do want to kind of have your target down to like dying by turn 7 in aggro decks, but obviously sometimes it doesn't go that way. And what would happen is this gave it that extra little nudge to be pushed over. 5/5 is a decent body, but it's the +4/+4 that's huge, because you could drop, turn 8, if you had a 1 cost minion in your hand, you drop this with that, and boom, you've got yourself a pretty nasty board. I mean, probably at least like a 6/5 and then a 5/5, which by turn 8, if you're playing an aggro deck, that's lethal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's
Sorry.
an interesting.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know that when we were talking about the podcast for this week, we have to obviously think about what we're going to be talking about, and we try and come to agreement on what we want to talk about. Sometimes it's tough.
So we made an agreement. We said, okay, we'll talk about SpaceX if you let me talk about Hearthstone, and I'm like, that's fine.
At least
Let's do it.
I could say some stuff about SpaceX.
Yeah.
I'm realizing now you know nothing about Hearthstone.
I literally have no idea how to play Hearthstone.
Which, hey, maybe we should play sometime. I'm seriously okay. Little side topic, off topic, whatever. I have been thinking about trying to get some time during the week to stream just gameplay. Maybe if we because I don't feel like we need to have games necessarily secret for Game Club. Maybe we can start streaming our gameplay of the games for Game Club. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I do think. What does chat think of that about going for more than just this podcast? I mean, this podcast would definitely still be the central concept. And given that I'm a student and working, and Sal is also a student and working, it can be tough to balance that time.
I'm a student of life.
Okay. You're also a student of school. Need to do field studies. Do you mean
what do you mean by field studies?
What do you mean by field studies, Roy?
My field studies will be pretty boring. Like just like going to an office and be like, hey, what number are you writing down there?
Anyway, the big I wanna try and start streaming off of just exclusive release, maybe get some gameplay in there. If you guys are into that, if you guys would be interested.
B-Guy says something that I've been a proponent since the start. He's like, you need to go for 4 hours to talk about everything.
I'm pretty sure B-Guy is actually making fun of you. I'm pretty sure you've expressed that to B-Guy, and now he's quoting you explicitly.
He can suck an ass, you know what I mean?
Go to the Blizzard headquarters parking lot and hang out.
Yeah, and get arrested because it's private property.
I mean, like, I don't think they'd arrest us. I don't think their first reaction would be like, "You're arrested." I think they probably would just be like, "Hey, can you not do this?
Can you leave?
Can you please leave before we have to call security?"
We'll just go to BBQ and hang out with them.
Yeah,
and because they all eat there.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I'd like to hear you guys, if you guys don't want to share in chat, and if you're watching on YouTube especially, please tweet me.
Write a comment, subscribe, like.
Yeah, all that. Smash that like button.
Smash that motherfucking last button. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Subscribe and like and
you just gotta tell them, dude. I'm with this exclusive release. Like, you guys need to get out of here. I can be here.
Yeah, we're well, I mean, like, hey, actually, great segue into the next topic. I was thinking that as exclusive release, we should try and get press passes for E3, right? Because we can.
I'm pretty sure the deadline for that is already passed.
Oh, I mean, maybe next year, like, is what I'm thinking.
I mean, next year we're gonna have 3 million viewers. So
yeah, probably. So we'll probably get that press pass that we're hoping for.
You have to pay for them.
Not me. We're exclusive release, dude. They're not gonna have exclusive release at E3. What are they gonna do? But hey. What do you say?
$149
for tickets to
for
E3?
A gamer pass.
For a gamer pass? Do you know what the press pass is?
The business pass is $1,000. So
that we're not a business. We're not going to open a booth there.
Oh, you're right. We're industry pass. Direct career professional affiliation to the industry. Okay, we can apply to the industry pass. I don't.
When's the deadline? Is it actually passed or no?
We can learn about it later. But if not. I don't think passes have even gone live yet. Or they're not even live. So for the gamer pass, it's $149 for the first 1,000.
Those sell super quick.
Yeah, the others, it'll be $249. So $100 cheap if you're like the first one. Yeah, we'll look into this. I will be. So
super stoked.
The deadline's April 26th. So we got
some time. We can. We actually should do that. That might actually be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, even the more reason, all of you watching on YouTube, all you watching live right now, we need subscribers. We need numbers. We need to be able to be like, hey, we got an audience that wants to watch our stuff, and that is advertisement for you. We have another follower. Speaking of the devil, thank you, TRav28, for the follow. We appreciate the numbers very much. Very timely. Really good timing on that. let's which actually, speaking of E3, great time to move on to the next
Look at these
topic.
segues. It's like we're
Yeah, no, we're straight up professionals, dude. Let me just type in the. I can't type. I'm actually a chimp. The new topic, segueing from E3, is that an announcement has just come out that Projekt Red is going to be at E3 this year, which, for those of you who don't immediately
They're
recognize
always
that
there.
name,
It's just they have a slot. Like
they have a slot.
a preview or like a what's it called? A press slot.
which, for those of you who don't know the company, they make The Witcher. Okay, so
Gwent. They make Gwent.
They make Gwent. Yes, they do. Actually, there are actually a lot of people.
We should play Gwent. I haven't played it. Do you have to pay for it?
No, it's free. I mean, like,
It's
you have to
free.
buy
We should play
packs,
it.
but like, I would be down
should
because
play
like
it.
I love card games. I mean, like, hell,
I love me
Hearthstone.
some Gwent, dude. The Witcher 3 is just a Gwent simulator. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, because that's why you play The Witcher 3. It's true.
Yes.
You know, not the best detective game of all time.
Detective?
It's because you're.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I guess it is.
You're totally a detective, dude. You're straight up a detective.
You use your fucking.
Except
your
for
Spidey-
instead
you
of
use the
detectives
Spidey
being
sense.
like, book 'em, Blue, you're like, I'm gonna stab this guy to death. You know, which is, I think, more fun. I mean, you could be a pretty bad detective, and that could be a thing. Anyway, whole point about talking about CG Projekt Red, they have confirmed a press slot at E3 this year, and the talk of the town is that they've been teasing. The talk of the town is that they've been teasing Cyberpunk 2077 again, which I watched the cutscene for it on YouTube.
And we were like, dude, that's so sick. We were like, dude, this is the sickest shit. When did this come out? Oh, and I was like, oh, it's like 2 weeks ago, right? And then Jonathan was like, you were like, dude, no.
I was like, because I wanted to look into this because I read that they were going to be E3 this year, and I wanted to look at this Cyberpunk 2077. And so I looked at it. If you can throw Sal the link in the chat for me, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We were watching the cutscene. It's super cool, great cinematic. Because I mean, CG Projekt Red is always good about that. And Sal's like, "What is this like 2 weeks ago, right?" It was released in 2013, actually.
There's the link for you guys if you want to watch it. It's
So-
cool. It's short, like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, it's not very long. It's beautiful, which is awesome. If you're watching on YouTube, you can either I'll try and put a link in the description. If not, you can literally just search Cyberpunk 2077 and literally go up. I mean, finish watching this video first, but just have that ready. Open it in a new tab.
Or pause this video, watch it, and then come back, and then you know what we're talking about.
Exactly. That's a really good idea. And so
But don't close this video.
don't close this video.
Keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching.
Hashtag Sella. Am I right, chat?
So the Cyberpunk 2077 has been basically, I guess, at least teased. I don't know if it's actually been in development since 2013, and it's just now coming back into the news cycle. You know, I heard that they were I saw on I think it was PC Gamer that they were talking about it again. They were talking about Cyberpunk 2077, which for me I'm very excited for, because I like Cyberpunk a lot. I definitely like sci-fi and science fantasy a lot. And it's not like I don't like regular fantasy. I do like fantasy. Here's my example. I like Lord of the Rings. I watched more of them now, Sal. I actually went back and I watched.
Oh, which ones have you seen?
I didn't get to finish the two towers, right?
Dude, that's the best one.
I started it. I didn't get to finish it. Something came up.
How did you-
But I finished Fellowship.
I know. They
and I
are
got
like
to really
5
sit
hours
down.
long.
I really got to sit down and watch Fellowship. But my point before we get
the
go,
most boring one of all of them. Chad's here.
hey, hello, Chad. Welcome to stream. Be sure to follow.
So I'm looking at the CD Projekt Red website, and they have 3 slides. They have The Witcher 3, they have Gwent, and then have a picture for their job offers. That's just like this Cyberpunk 2077 face, half, and then the Witcher logo on the other side. That's it. So they're definitely, and when you go to their games, it says Gwent, The Witcher 2, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077. And the Witcher adventure game, which I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I've heard about that actually. The Witcher adventure game isn't.
Ah! What's that?
Did you just die?
So, you know when you open a website and it's just like the loudest shit?
Anyway, so CD CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077. My whole point being, I am more of a fan of Star Wars than I am of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I know I haven't seen all the Lord of the Rings all the way through yet, but
2077 would be more like
more up my
your
alley
thing than The Witcher.
because I loved The Witcher 3, loved it, and I'm still playing through it technically. I mean,
You haven't finished it?
I haven't. It's a huge game, dude. When do I have time to finish that shit? Especially when
So
we're
I started playing again, just a save file that I had, and just replaying the main story is so good. That game, it's easily like top 5 favorite games I've ever played. It's like Bioshock Infinite, The Last of Us, The Witcher, and then 2 others I can't think of. Uncharted 3.
So WoW's not in there. No Blizzard games in there.
Sure. Wow.
Anyway, I am super excited for the concept of another. I liked The Witcher 3 a lot, and like it's just. I don't know what exactly Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a similar method to usually game studios don't, at least like smaller devoted ones, especially when it says like their whole thing is really The Witcher is their main thing. I feel like they're not going to throw out the engine and like, let's do something entirely different. Like, I have a feeling it
might be the same engine.
I was going to say, I have a feeling the similarities are going to be kind of like in the sense of Bethesda, that like it's between like Skyrim and Fallout, you know, kind of stuff.
And if you played The Witcher through, Siri does make a reference to 2077, which if they make it obvious that she's talking about that world, that Siri has traveled to that world, which means that those 2 worlds are connected. Maybe they're like the past and the present or something like that.
Well, future, it's 2077, so.
With the past and the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, Siri's whole, like, if you haven't played The Witcher series.
Oh, thanks. She can time travel. She can space travel. She's a fucking wizard.
Super
Not really.
wizard.
Not really. She's just like the embodiment of magic.
Yeah. I mean, like, that kind of sounds like a wizard, but in layman's
terms. A wizard is someone that spends their whole life learning how to use magic and then they apply it. It's more like a sorcerer.
Okay, so
which in The Witcher is kind of like a mage. But let's not get into it.
Okay, so she's kind of like a sorcerer mage. Other than that, I am very much stoked on the possibility of sci-fi by CG.
It'll be like a sort of like a Star Wars RPG.
I mean, to be fair, Star Wars is more of a science fantasy than Cyberpunk is.
Cyberpunk's more like a dystopian future kind of thing.
Yeah, it's got more of a dystopian feel. Either way, I think the goal is we're going to be watching it. And, hey, if we get those E3 passes...
We'll be there.
We'll be there. And we'll be sure to capture that part of it if we can get in.
Lakers fan says, Space Pinball, top 3 games easy. Yep.
I mean, yeah. Who has not spent way too many hours on Space Pinball? And like you would boot it up and like you'd forget that your speakers are on and it would like explode the house.
Live stream E3. I'm pretty sure that
that's illegal.
Sorry,
that's against the
terms.
I'm
pretty sure that would be against the terms of service or the terms of attendance or whatever the fuck.
I mean, like you might be able to like stream like outside of it and be like hey, we're out here at E3, you know. I mean, obviously wouldn't stream the press conferences because that would just be kind of dumb. But I don't know. We'll see. I would, if we actually would be going as press, then we would have to look into exactly what that.
So we're not going as press. I'll tell you that because what I asked for press, you're like, show 2 of these forms: insurance card listing both employee name and company name, paycheck stub, company credit card, W-2 form, current business license, current sales tax license.
Bro, so all we gotta do is make an exclusive release business. That's what it is. We need to go out there and fill out the paperwork.
Official. Let's drop $1 grand.
Make it official. Well, then wait. What are you saying that we would go as?
Gamers. Maybe just this year if we can do it, but
we'll see. Yeah, we'll
Listen,
go.
I'd rather go to
Yeah,
E3 than
Lakers
Coachella.
Lakers fan has the right idea. You can get all of that. It's all about the right mindset. We gotta
Go
go.
as friends. No, we're gonna go as our date.
Yes, it's gonna be.
We're gonna,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll be more than friends. All right. Anything
And we
else you
can
want to
either
say?
we can either like get a house and then throw a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Woo. 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 Do you want to say anything else about CD Projekt Red?
No, I'm excited for that. Which is a great game. I'm excited what they do with like another thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always, this is another one of those, we were talking about like studios and industry and like companies, game companies. CD Projekt Red, I have heard some things like that they have issues with in terms of like customer service.
Being Polish. Yep.
Yes, that's really a problem.
They're based in Krakow.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know that
because you know I have such a big problem with Polish people.
Yeah.
Joking,
Listen.
I am Polish. For those of you who don't know.
No.
Other than that, I think I am be watching it. We will be sure to come back to it when we hear more information on it. So
Yeah. Or stream it IRL from Twitch.
Yeah.
From
E3.
E3.
So Game Club
Yeah.
this week, we have an exciting new game that we actually have been playing.
It's not new, but
It's-
we've
okay.
played it for a long time.
And they I think that patch dropped in actually like late December.
Is it? I wanted to ask you. Is it like the full release of the game now?
No,
No, it's not.
it's still early
It's still
access.
in early access.
It's still in early access. But so the game that we probably should talk about, the game that we are talking about this week, is Astroneers. So Astroneers, here's the footage.
That's why we talked about SpaceX.
Yeah, we talked about SpaceX. Astroneers is a exploration game. It's not exploration and kind of like a progression-based game. It's kind of very hard to describe. You get put on a planet. It's got all kinds of different resources on it, and you have to build your base and kind of survive and explore. And I'm just playing just kind of general. This is actually right before Sal drops in. You might be able to see in a minute when he drops.
You can play with your buddies.
Yeah, that's a really cool
or
thing.
Sex partners. Or
This
whatever,
is
you know what I mean?
this is the first game we're talking about in Game Club that's multiplayer, right? I mean, we talked about Celeste. We talked about.
Well, Stardew Valley. We talked about the possibility.
We talked about that wasn't Game Club though. Remember, that was just a conversation we had. Either way, you land on a planet with your little habitat, and you are pretty much just set to explore it. You just need to make sure that like you right now I'm digging. This is the digging tool that you use, and it's what's really great about this game that I love is that it's got this wonderful combination of like this emptiness, but it's also got this like sense of wonder that you kind of always want to be exploring. What were your impressions of it, Sal? Because this is very much up my alley.
So I played this way before you did. I played this when it first came out, and it was a completely different game. Like even this game when it first came out was the most hilarious fucking game ever because the glitches. You would be in like the rover, and it would just launch you into space, literally. You would be in space, wearing a spacesuit in a fucking truck. It was hilarious.
So, you're kind of getting some little teasers at like some of the mechanics of the game in this footage here. You're just as a quick. Let's see. I'm gonna try and. Here's what I'm gonna do, Sal. You're gonna help me out. I'm gonna try and kind of give a brief summary of how the gameplay goes, and you're gonna supplement anything that you feel that I'm missing. Got it?
Got it.
So, you're an astronaut who lands on a planet to explore it.
You can choose to be skinny or fat.
Yep. Well, there's like 4 choices of astronauts to be.
Yeah, there's 2 skinny ones and 2 fat ones.
Yeah, and one of the fat ones an orange guy.
Very, all body types and trumps are accepted.
Yep. All kinds of
orange.
genders. I mean, because it doesn't really matter.
I mean,
so you don't ever know. So
we don't know.
It doesn't matter. We're all astroneers here. So you can see on the backpack there on the character, there's a blue bar across the top and a yellow bar across the back. The blue bar is your oxygen. It refills whenever you're connected to your habitat. There are ways to extend how far that reaches. Or if you're also connected to a rover, if you've built one. And then the other yellow bar is the power, which is used to power your your little gun here that breaks down everything, digs through stuff, collects resources.
It's like a vacuum cleaner kind of thing.
It's a vacuum cleaner that also can spit stuff out if you have the right attachments.
I
and
mean,
you've got
my vacuum cleaner can do that. Can yours not?
I mean, to spit stuff back out, yeah, but like that's kind of defeats the purpose of a vacuum cleaner, doesn't it?
Maybe your purpose.
So you get you harvest different materials. There's all kinds of different minerals. There's a thing called compound, a thing called resin, which are both very basic early materials. You can like make copper and aluminum. Your backpack has like 8 slots, and then your backpack has 8 slots plus 2 more on the shoulders for attachments that can also hold stuff that you like collect.
And 3 on your gun.
And 3 on your gun. So you don't have a ton of space, which actually kind of adds to the elements of the game.
You have 13 slots.
Yeah, total of
quick maths.
Quick maths. real quick maths. We got 13 spots for you to keep stuff on. And you just really there's no boss fights as far as I know. There's no
PvP at all. There's no there is no other creature in the whole game.
Yeah, there's dangerous plants. There are dangerous plants.
There's plants that throw like farts at you, but that's it.
There are also ones that spike you.
Yeah. Those are spooky.
Yeah.
Spiky.
In this video, I'm digging out a little crashed spaceship because there's usually good stuff inside them.
It's okay.
So I really want to talk because like what I think about is great about this game is that if you'll notice occasionally, I'm not really worried about oxygen. Earlier on, I had like a problem of like running low on oxygen. But if you see, there's these little blue, like this little rope attached to me that's providing me with oxygen because that little point that's next to me is there are multiple ones leading all the way back to my habitat, the one that I landed in.
Yeah, it's like you're running a hose.
Yeah, you run a hose.
A hose.
With that will give you oxygen, and if you aren't connected to it, you just start running out of oxygen. If you run out of oxygen faster. It's really what's really cool about it is that these worlds are massive. They're also procedurally generated, so you can.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought it was the same world. I thought you just landed.
No, they're procedurally generated every single time. Hey, you can see there you are. You're landing right there, Sal. Up ahead. It's cool.
I'm so cute.
I know you're a couple seconds behind me, so. But. What I think is great is that these worlds are huge. I haven't even come close to even covering the whole thing. Like,
I did when I used to play a long time ago, and I was pretty far ahead. And I'm like, there's nothing else to do in this game because it's like it was released a week ago. Mm-hmm. I made a rover. I made a 4 stack rover, so you connect 4 trucks. So I had a bunch of power and a bunch of oxygen, and I just went, and I went all the way around the world.
How long did it take you?
Like 3 hours, but
what? I did it. You drove for 3 hours?
No,
you're kidding,
me like
right?
45 minutes.
I'd be like, you're kidding me. But to be fair, that's also driving in a rover, which is much faster, and that's only in straight in one direction across the surface. There are caves in this. I mean, we kind of divided and conquered when Sal and I were playing. He went in the caves, and I kind of stayed on the surface and looked for like resin and compound and explored around and. So
when did this update come out?
I wanted to say late December. So the reason we're talking about it right now, we were thinking about waiting until it was a full release. But this one, we were talking about it because they patched it and they made a really, really good change. Which
Very
actually, go ahead. I can cut to other stuff right now because you've seen a couple times where I pull up my backpack and I pull up that like there's another screen that comes up that shows different things on it. Here, let me go ahead and throw up this screen. So this is what I was talking about. This is the footage of like the backpack researcher. So if you see in the top right there, it says 1381 bytes and the rate is 0 bytes per second or whatever. But I'm flipping through and all of these things are things that you can research on how to make. Some of them are made in your backpack. Some of them made on different surfaces on your base. Vehicles are obviously made in the vehicle bay. And the thing is, like, in the original game, they made it was a real quality of life change. So the way that it works now is that you get things and you put them into the research pods, like that are attachment for your base that you can create. You can create these little surfaces, and they can basically they're multifunctional until you decide what they are.
Can we talk about how first world the term quality of life for a video game is? I've always thought that when like Overwatch did it, you said it was just a little quality of life. It's like, dude, you're sitting at a computer playing a video game. You're talking about making your quality of life better.
What? Why do I have to push a different button if I want to jump twice?
Why
Can't
do
I
I
just
have to wait
push the same button?
3 hours to research one thing?
Yeah.
How about you just marvel at the miracle of science in front of you?
Okay, well, I am an American, and I want nothing but the best. I have very high standards for what I consider my entertainment. Here, let me go ahead and I'm actually gonna try and let's see if I can swap out, play other footage. This is actually a picture of me in a cage.
Yeah, but research used to be, we didn't really talk about research. Research used to be the only way you could research something, find new stuff to recreate, or like, not recreate, like to make, was to find, you would dig under plants and there was like little pods.
Yeah.
Like little like weird shaped objects, and you would put them in a research bay, and you would get a random research.
You had no control over it. There was
no control. It was 100% RNG. So if there, but the thing is, you needed something. You would need one thing. What is like storage or?
Yeah, we were having a problem. So before this, here I'm gonna throw up on the screen here. This is the exploration of our. Oops, I put that too far up. My bad. I put that over our faces. Let me put this further down. Why is it that big?
I look beautiful. Look at those flowers in my face.
Yeah, let me move it down.
This is the soil.
Why are these so far down?
We're looking at the soil analyzer.
Here's what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Keep talking about the game while I figure this out.
Yeah, so but the thing is with research now, you research stuff and it gives you bits or bytes, whatever the hell it is. And now it just you choose what to research, which is great. It's not annoying anymore. What are you talking about? I don't know what's happening in chat. I'm confused.
Tours?
But
Two tours. Oh.
Yeah. But which is great. It's a great quality of life change, as Americans like to say.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. That's a little better.
It's a great game.
So here. Okay, sorry, I had such an issue figuring that out. My bad. So what happened? What I'm showing right now in this part of the clip is that I'm showing the different kinds of. This is further along in our base, and you get to see the different like platforms that we made. This one's the soil extractor or whatever, like the mineral extractor.
We made a car.
Yeah, I made a car.
I wasn't playing.
I was capturing footage to be able to show this explicit stuff. And so here I'm showing the
explicit stuff.
Yeah. So you can put canisters to collect soil, and like when you use the soil, you can like build things out of it. So like it'll extract all the compound out of it if you wanted to extract compound. It's really cool. This is the research bay, and what's really cool here is you get to see how the research works. This little thing comes up when you click on it, and it shows you what you're researching. In the top right, it shows how long it's going to take. In the top left, it shows how much bytes are left in it. It'll come back around in a minute. And the big thing is that on these research pods, because we actually have two, it scans something that you'll put in it. You can put actually anything in there. You can put like just minerals that you harvest out, but the best things are those pods we were talking about earlier. So the way that it used to work, like Sal was saying, is that you would find these pods, you'd put them down, and it would be like, it would literally make a roulette sound effect, and it would give you some random thing. It'd be like, oh, you learned how to make a spaceship. Oh, you learned how to make a three-chair. You learned how to make a solar panel. And it sucks because like...
It's like, you learned how to make a spaceship. Who fucking cares? I need to make some power right now.
Yeah, you're like, I can't even build anything yet, or like, I don't have cars, so this is a problem. I barely can explore further from my base. The new
there's
system.
Two kinds of spaceships now, right? There's a big one and a small one.
I think so.
Yeah. There was only a small one, so you would have to make multiple trips to go to another planet. Or do you know?
So these
great quality of life change, by the way.
Really? Well, because here's the thing is that the way. Let me go ahead and switch back to. Go back to this. one of the cool things that I really appreciated about this was that you were talking about the randomness of it, and what sucked was like you would need something and you couldn't control it. You would be like, oh, I guess I just have to keep trying, and you dig deep and look for these pods, and you would just keep getting, screwed over because you just wouldn't get the thing that you needed to research. But now you control it. The pods that you find now are just worth a lot of data. So it's actually kind of like being an astronaut, like on a science expedition. You're trying to find data, and they offer you a bunch of data to learn more about what you want to make, and you can spend that how you want to. So really early on, it was really cool because when me and Sal were playing together, we were talking about like how we want to budget. Like early on, we're like, we only have about 1,500 bytes. What do you want to make first? And we're like, well, printer is probably really important because it lets us print out stuff. And then we're like, oh, but we don't have anything to print yet. Like, okay, then energy storage, because like we only have sun half the day, and we want to be able to store some of that energy, Let's see if I got this set up right.
Or we could have made like a wind turbine or something to make.
There we go. Okay. So this is the
I'm
research.
just noticing. I think my game files are corrupted. Because looking at your gameplay, it looks very different than mine.
Why? What do you see differently?
The little funky things are different for me.
Little plants.
Little plants, yeah. Everything.
So this I'm showing here the research that I was talking about, right? So you can see those pods you were getting give you the bytes, and then you get to choose how you want to spend them, which I think is really, really cool because now you get to choose you get to choose what you want to build, and you're not stuck, because it really sucked when you were looking for just storage. It sucked not having storage. You were like, I have nowhere to put my stuff. How am I supposed to go and explore and find stuff if I have nowhere to put it? We didn't mention it's not like you're not gonna die in this game. Actually, you can die if you're not
you can
ready.
die.
You can fall to your death.
There's like fart storms, there's wind storms, and there's like you can fall to your death.
So the wind storms actually are really interesting. So sometimes you'll just be playing and you'll hear like the wind come up, and you'll look on the horizon and a big like dust storm will be coming up, and if you get
or like a really big green fart.
Yeah, really big green fart. If you get caught out in it, in the dust storm, these boxes fly through the air.
Start going
yeah,
like
so you put your hand up and walk around like this, and then like boxes come flying through the air, and if they hit you, you will die because you're getting beaten.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
No, yeah. The whole reason
you can get like knocked to death.
Yeah, because okay, well, like, see, that's why you're just calling them a fart storm. It's not that it's like gas that kills you. We've always been good about saying,
no. There's two different ones. There's one that you die just from like exposure. That's the fart storm. You just die from
I've been out in that and I haven't died. How does that kill you? I feel like that doesn't kill you that way. I think it's also the boxes.
There's one with the gases and there's one with the wind. There's two different ones.
Well, at least one of them throws boxes at you, which is
why
the wind. You have to like get
in
cover.
The brown one.
Yeah, you have to get under cover. So
the one that looks like the Dust Bowl.
Yep. So
1939.
You get this whole game. One of the really cool things. I actually need to show this part. This is the way that crafting works, and I come over here. So this is a compound mine. Now you can see we've already dug out some of it. You collect the compound. It collects on the back of your gun. You make these little piles, right? And these little piles can then be used. So I step off and I go to my backpack and I can switch through the different recipes. Making tethers uses compound. It uses some of the energy and it uses the material you want to make it. Now what tethers do is they are these little blue ropes that have been showing up on screens.
Yeah,
and
so you can extend your oxygen and power reach.
Which is really important because one of the things that I loved when I was first playing this game was that when you are playing, you kind of are just... Oh, I just realized the audio is probably playing for this. Oh, no, it's not. Good. Forgot to remember to turn it off. What's really cool is that when you're playing, these worlds are massive and you really just... Kind of like in Minecraft... In Minecraft, you want to just go and run out and, like, you could be like, if I die, I'll come back,
We should play Minecraft on stream.
I mean, like, I would be down. I actually really like Minecraft.
I haven't played Minecraft in years.
It's, actually, there's a lot more now. A lot more.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. There's definitely a lot to do. But anyway, when you're playing the game, you want to just run out into the world and explore. but you'll die, like, for sure, because you won't find enough oxygen. And, like, it's this kind of cozy little experience where, like, you have to stay close to home because it has oxygen for you. So you actually get to see, Sal, this is where I built our rover. And you get to, the cool thing about the rover is it improves your ability to explore, because once you have it, you can drive around.
Like, your range is, like, quadrupled.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, because you can technically put out tethers forever if you have enough compound.
Yeah, but you need so much compound.
It's so much compound. Yeah, this you can just go and drive.
Either way, I really want to talk about more of the experience of the game. Is like, because I hopefully it's given at least a little bit of what you expect from the game. If there's interest, this is what I'm kind of talking about in terms of if I were streaming. If there's interest in watching us play these games, any of these games, if you're like, hey, that Astroneers game looked interesting, can you go and play it? I actually have a friend of mine who watches me play this usually when I start. Like, he'll watch me through stream broadcast and just watch me play, and we'll hang out in Discord. But like, if you want to watch these games, let us know. We'll try and figure out some way to get like live streaming on this stuff. And so overall, in my experience of the game, I'm actually pretty familiar with the mechanics. It can be kind of a little confusing at first, but it gets better, and you kind of get natural about the controls of it. There is kind of always something to do, which is, I appreciate that a lot in games. Like when we were talking about Stardew Valley, it's like with RuneScape. The big thing is, like, there's always something to do, and it's really this peaceful, serene game. I love games that are really casual and just fun to experience, and they don't... I mean, Celeste had its appeal in the sense that, like, it was challenging, but sometimes you just want a game like this. You want to relax at the end of a long day and just explore a planet, you know?
So, for me, like, my main games right now are probably, like that I play all the time are WoW and PUBG, I would say, right? But PUBG is not a game you can just sit back, kick back, and relax. Yeah. You cannot. That's the whole point of the game. Why are you going in the cave with the rover?
Because I want to be able to drive around inside the cave. Also, I realized after I got the rover down here, I was like,
can't get it
that
out.
ramp is not good enough to get it back out. Actually, I think I do drive it back up with that ramp, but I literally spent, after this, I don't know if it gets to that point. After this, I literally spent like 30 minutes building a really smooth, even ramp to drive it back out. If you want to hop back into this game later tonight, I would be very much down. I actually really like this game.
But like I was saying, you need, like, I always need a game that I can just mindlessly play and maybe like watch a podcast, or like a movie or like a TV show or something, just YouTube videos.
So if you need something
this
to
is
do,
a game like that.
Yeah,
it's really nice. Like, honestly, there's not much. There's not like, oh, let me pause this video and really pay attention to what's happening. Because in WoW, sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah, but it's not like that doesn't make it boring, though. Let's
make
that abundantly clear. It's never boring.
It's never like a Minecraft kind of feel to it. You're
always like, oh, I need to take care of my chickens. You know, like you always are thinking of the next thing that's kind of important to you. You can actually
There's no chickens in this game, though.
There are no chickens in this game. No space chickens. At least not yet. I did tweet. I tweeted the game devs about this game, saying that we were going to talk about it. So if any of them are watching, I don't know. I haven't taken a look at the viewer list yet. If any of them are watching, yeah, this is a good game. They also add chickens, maybe as an Easter egg, because, you know, exclusive release, talking about.
Oh yeah, it's an exclusive release. That's so fucking funny.
Anyway, this game, there's so much. What I'm actually doing here, I think I stopped before I finished, or like not too long after this. This ramp I'm building so I can drive the rover back up. There's always exploration to do. This cave down here that I'm in is massive.
I didn't see your
huge.
It's not up. I don't think you tweeted it.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Oh no.
Last tweet 4 days ago, and then the last tweet is 12 hours ago.
That's not
good.
You
suck at tweeting.
Oh no. Anyway,
hey, Sean is here.
Hey, welcome, Sean, to the chat. Are you sure I didn't tweet it? That would make me very sad.
Yeah, you didn't tweet.
No, it's no. From my point of view, it says I tweeted it.
This Twitter fucking sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, enough looking at our phones while we're literally doing a podcast right now.
It's more of a visual experience.
It's supposed to be relevant.
It's all about looking at my face. Let's be real. Oh, it's not Sean. It's Elisa and Nicole. There's
Oh well,
girls watching us. What?
we have girls watching a video game podcast. What is this?
Don't be misogynistic.
You're
Girls play
right.
video games too.
You're right. You're right, and especially games like this. This one is
Oh, Jesus! Don't fucking say that. Girls can play whatever game they want.
No, they can, but I think that, well, honestly, okay, let's be real. Let's talk about this for a second. Gender roles in terms of video games. I am very much for video games are a great, reasonably fair, equal way to play. It's not like they haven't marketed to boys heavily though. Like that's always been the thing is like video games have always been marketed to boys. It's because of marketing that we think that video games are a boy thing. Yeah. And they're not. I really don't think they are, but it's not like it hasn't, shown itself to be that way. I mean, let's be real. How many of your friends who play video games, what percentage of them are male? It's definitely more than 50.
Yeah.
It's like guaranteed.
Hey, by the way, Elise and Nicole, you guys should watch it separately. That way we get more viewers.
That's a good point. And also,
Hashtag
make an account. Make an account.
Right, chat?
Follow. Yeah, hashtag sellout. Because apparently asking for, support is being a sellout. I mean, what I'm trying to actually say when I say this is a good game for that, I think that there is kind of like this weird. It's become more. I know a lot more girls now.
Video games out of
no, eat me. The whole thing is that a lot of girls have been kept out of gaming because of stupid, nonsensical stereotypes, right? Marketing bullshit. And to be fair, I realized because I was thinking about getting my girlfriend into gaming, and like I was thinking like. I have been playing games since I was like 4 years old, So my understanding of how games work and how they play out is pretty good. I have good fundamental skills. So it's kind of...
Speaking of that, have you ever, like, your parents might be different, but, like, my dad, whenever I tell him to tell him to play a video game, he still holds the joystick like he would on, like, an arcade.
Oh, like with, like, full palm?
No, he like grabs it with his whole. You're like, Dad, you need the back of the controller too. It's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny.
Well, see, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, though. Is like there's like rudimentary, like basic things that we take for granted that people who are new to the industry, and not to mention that like it's not even just girls. It's like older audiences and just audiences that haven't stereotypically been targeted for video games are getting involved more often now, which I think is great. I think it's awesome. And I think that games like Astroneers, I think like the control scheme of it might be a little bit intensive for someone who's brand new, but it's not like what's great about games like this
hard.
It's
just your mouse and the thing is a lot of people their barrier to PC games especially is the WASD. They're like why would W be forward? That makes no sense.
What's hilarious?
Is
my WASD keys are all worn out on my keyboard. Like they all like missing chunks.
I have a new keyboard, but no. I have so many keyboards around.
Anyway,
sell them.
This game. What I was gonna say is that this game I think is really cool because games. I was trying to think of games like I was saying. Like I was trying to get my girlfriend in this. I was trying to think of games that are like good for someone who doesn't have that pre-existing like propensity for video games, not like that needs to be like some simple shit, just like something that either gives the player lots of time to handle controls. It's not quick timing based controls.
Well, you really took your time on this ramp.
I really did, dude. I'm about to start smoothing it out. It's gonna be beautiful. Like from my point of view, it's actually right now, but you're like a couple seconds behind. I worked really hard on this ramp, okay? So if we never play this world again, I'm going to be really sad. Because
it's a beautiful ramp.
I worked so hard.
It's a beautiful ramp.
Beautiful. I make the best ramps.
The best people are saying it's a beautiful ramp. Smartest people.
And look, here I go. I'm about to test it.
That's my Trump impression.
This is
enjoyed.
The thing that I like about this game is that the pacing is really up to you. You're never like as long as you're connected to your house, or you're like in cover, so in case a dust storm comes along, you're never really too worried. We should probably mention that when you die, it sucks, but it's not super punishing.
No, because you can just go back and
you go back to your body and you loot off your corpse. So I mean, it wasn't like in some really bad, hard to reach place. You can go and get your stuff back, and on top of that, like the parts that are on your shoulders on the top, those you keep. Like, so if you have like a really useful attachment, at least that's how it used to be. I haven't died since the patch, so maybe they changed that. But like when I used to play in the patch, when you died, you kept the stuff that was on your shoulders. Here, I'm gonna go back to the other one because I'm just sitting there in that one. and you know, it's not super punishing, which I think is really important for an entry level game. And if you're more of an experienced player, it's not like this is just a new gamer's game. There is definitely a lot to experience.
It's definitely not like it's not like an esports game.
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, like,
it's one of those games you just play just for fun, just relax.
This is really relaxing,
and it does it very well.
It's very relaxing. The music's really good. I wonder. I don't know if the here. I'll turn up the audio a little bit on this. Actually, I don't think I had the music turned on. I think I'm just gonna be playing like Netflix sounds if I played that audio. So,
or like
you. Oh yeah, probably you talking too, which would be weird. The music's really peaceful.
We don't want our off-stream conversations on stream. Let's just say that.
Okay, you make it sound like we're like racist or something. No,
we're
just
not.
Like stupid shit.
It's just like
shit. It's our sandwich talks. You know, that's the kind of stuff.
It's just the back noise of this is just us arguing about which is better, BLT or a club sandwich.
Definitely club sandwich has everything. That BLT
you can
has.
suck an ass because it's not. But
well, let's leave that attached to chat. We'll see what chat thinks. BLT or club sandwich. Maybe we should start like a new like Twitter poll thing. Like we'll have like a weekly question. Do you have anything else you want to say about Astroneer? Because honestly, we can start wrapping up if you'd like. Yeah. Let me just wrap up really quick. I love this game. It is very. I know I've said that about a lot of games, but it's kind of because I've been choosing games that I know I like. This really is up my alley in terms of experience.
We should choose a game that we fucking hate and we just rip on it.
I mean, maybe not hate, but like one that's not maybe it'd be good for us, you know. But this is
something we're not usually
into. Yeah,
like a racing game or something. Although I fucking love racing games. Chat wants us to keep going. I mean,
like we don't have to stop like explicitly. We still have more, and we have the Q&A after. But
we have the Q&A. Anything else you want to say about Astroneers though? I think we summed it. It's a pretty simple game. It is
a very simple game. I think that you probably, hopefully, you have a good impression of it. If you have more questions about it, feel free to contact us through Twitter. If I had to give it a number rating, to give it a real rating, I guess we probably should kind of do that with Game Club. It is a thoroughly enjoyable game. It can be kind of slow at times. Sometimes there's a little bit of dead time, which kind of impedes the pacing. There is always something to do, but it's not like you're always working towards it.
There is explosion, so that's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. I would say, overall, I would give this game a solid 7.5, 8. I thoroughly enjoy it. Don't let that get you down. Yeah. It's not a game I would pick up every single time. This is a game I would pick up when I want to relax.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's definitely a tone typed game, you know, like this.
Yeah, I would give it like a 7 or 8, 6, 7, 8.
I think
like 5 being an average game, 1 being a terrible game. Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game, and it's a great game for when you want to just chill out and just experience a peaceful game.
Like, I'm not going to give out 9s or 10s very easily.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of games I would give.
I have like 10,
like a couple.
like 5 to 10 games that I've given a 10 to.
But this game, Astroneers, I think it's just called just Astroneer. Yeah, it's just Astroneer. It's made by is it SES Devs? I think it's something. Let's see here.
We can look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I know that their Twitter handle is at SES Dev because I did tweet them. Okay, so it's $20. It is early access, so just keep that in mind, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Early access.
System Era software.
Yeah, System Era softwares. Keep that. This is what I have to say about early access games. I am as hesitant about a lot of early access games as the next guy, but that's usually mostly in the sense of
we learned our lesson with DayZ.
Yeah, with definitely learned. I learned my lesson with DayZ. I spent what was it like $60? It was a full cost game. It was like $60, right?
It's $30, I think.
Was it 30?
Yeah.
Either way,
early.
Either way, this is the kind of game like I trust early access games if the content they already have out keeps me wanting to play. You know, like PUBG was like that. Like I was like, I already want to play this game. So like,
yeah, PUBG is still the same game. Going back to PUBG, it's still the same game that it is when it came out. It's just better.
Yeah, and with more stuff.
not really. It's just more maps. It's still the same game.
Couple
It's
more
just
guns.
different.
It's still the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
game though. Yeah. Couple nerfs and balances here and there. All I'd say, $20 early access. It delivers on the cost. You know, like if they never, if they keep their current rate, if they kind of just improve general quality. By the way, I've played this in a couple different iterations, different patches. This one is very good. A lot of the stuff that
It keeps
used to
getting
frustrate
better and better.
Yeah.
I played when this first came out, and it was like, oh well, that's 2 hours of gameplay. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But now it's like you can play this forever.
And we haven't even mentioned there are other planets to go to.
Oh, you can go to other planets.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
That's
probably
like the
important.
whole point. There's
You're
like
not
6
stuck on
other
this
planets.
planet.
Yeah, we
you
should
can go to
mention
other
that.
planets. That's probably
It's like the whole point of the game, to leave the planet.
I can go to other ones. They have like different. This one's called Terra. Is what it's called.
I think you can land on different planets. It's like you can land on Terra or the blue one.
There's a lot of. Well, those are also procedurally generated too, Sal. So like there's.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like you can land on this one or the blue one.
Not when you start the game. No, it just launches you
one?
on Terra, because if you're starting out, you need to be on Terra, which has all of the basic resources. Other planets have like more like stuff to make aluminum and more like stuff to make the stuff that like is more like
and shit
benzene,
like that,
all that, all the like bigger stuff. Other planets have more of that, so that's interesting. I feel like I haven't even experienced this whole game yet, and I love it. I'm definitely gonna come back on days when I want to just relax.
I love it.
And so I think that's it for Game Club. Let's go ahead and move on to what we mentioned, but we were going to talk about earlier. We said we were going to talk about changes to Game Club. So a really important thing that I want to talk about is that Sal and I have been discussing how we want to do this podcast, and we're trying to improve it over time a lot. We're trying to keep improving it, and we're both students, so costs of buying games every week. Fortunately, this one we already had. I bought Celeste.
I bought Celeste.
Yeah, so I would love to be able to buy a new game every single week, but that's kind of expensive. And also, we also do have a lot of games that we have in common that we want to revisit together. We're trying to figure out how we can do whatever. But the big thing is also, in terms of time budget, it's kind of tough to get give a fair impression to a game when you only have a week. So what we're thinking about doing is we're probably going to make Game Club a bi-weekly thing. We're still going to have, of course, exclusive release every week, but we're going to make Game Club a bi-weekly thing. But that doesn't mean that we're just going to make it news and then say peace out. We're trying to think of other sections to do instead. And if we find enough other kinds of sections that we like, maybe we'll go into I don't know. I'm into D&D. Sal plays D&D. He's in my group. We could talk about stuff like that. I don't know if that would catch the...
If you have any ideas,
please. If you have... This is of all times for our audience to get involved in terms of like
what
responses.
do you want to hear from us?
What would you like to hear us talk about? Do you want us to talk about movies? Do you want us to talk about...
movies? Ooh, we can do that. We can do like a bi-weekly game thing and then a bi-weekly movie thing.
We could do that. See, this is the kind of stuff, or we can do, because I also mentioned that, if we want to do...
Lakers fan just came because we mentioned D&D.
Yeah, so he mentioned D&D. So D&D I think would be cool. Here's what I'm thinking, right? Please keep spitballing ideas with us. Stick around for the Q&A and throw what you got at us, by all means. But what I was thinking is, like, if we get enough sections, it could be like, maybe because there's roughly 4 weeks in a month, as last time I checked, we could have 4 different sections, and each, first week is Game Club, second week is Movie Club, and third week is D&D-orama. I don't know. The concept is that we could have different... Okay, you don't like that, whatever. We can have different sections, or, mix and match, Game Club is first and third week. Second week is Movie Club. Fourth week, something else.
Chat suggests we talk about butt. I can wear booty shorts on stream if you want me to.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I mean, we
both have really good butts.
We do, and I've been working out, and I've been doing my squats.
I haven't, but my butt's still great. Homework help. Oh, you can post your homework problems, and we'll solve them for you.
We're exclusive release tutors, Oh, really, to kind of, we'll get into that in the Q&A. I really want to
We'll
hear from you
corner
guys.
the market on stream tutors.
That's not actually a bad idea.
That's a terrible idea.
No, I think not for us, but like I don't think that's a bad idea. What if someone had just like a every night?
Oh yeah, if only there was a website that you had any question and it would just give like regarding school and it would just answer it. Oh, I don't know. We should call it like Khan Academy or something like that.
Bite me. I don't know. I think, but Khan Academy.
I'm really smart.
Okay, Khan Academy just has recordings of stuff. Like they
no
need,
interaction. You're right.
You need interaction. You need the live elements, live streaming. Okay, so stay focused. Point being about changes to Game Club. We're probably going to do it less often so that we can sustain it and give it the. One of the other big advantages is that we need to give these games time to really develop for us. Like it's not fair to give only 1 week's worth of time to a game and say like, I know this game. We really should give it a fair chance to give a lasting impression.
Lakers fan says we should eat 4,000 calorie meals on stream. I'm way ahead of you, dude. Way ahead of you.
There's another streamer we were watching.
I know, but I'm just memeing.
Yeah, 4,000 calories. You're getting there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's not nearly 4,000.
Please.
Do you want to hop into the Q&A?
Yeah, we can go ahead. We can go ahead.
This week's podcast brought to you by Taco Bell.
Not literally. This week's podcast was brought to you by A4G. A4G. Advocate for Gamers. AdvocateForGamers.com. They are there to support you if you're trying to push forward in your professional gaming and streaming career. So, to everyone who was watching the podcast on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check us out live so you can be a part of the Q&A. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Thank you. Goodbye to you guys.
Streamers, stay here.
Yeah, streamers, stay here. All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye to
Streamers.
our YouTuber friends.